So hello. Well, today I'd like to not take a look at this, because this is Jimmy, isn't it? This is my little sausage fat stomached Jimber Timber. But today I'd like to take a look at this. Those are his toys, by the way. Those are his favourite toys. He's got a little teddy bear and a sheep and stuff. He's got loads of them. Years ago, I was privileged to live in a beautiful county in England called Hampshire. And this is a book that I kind of collated, you know, didn't collate it, sorry, I collected it as a memory, you know, of my wonderful days in Hampshire, famous for cricket, obviously. Yeah, they were. Here's to old cricket, the grand game of cricket. The turf and the tent and the telegraph boards, a cheer for the pleasure of bat, ball and wicket, the pastime of peasant, the glory of lords, by W. Yardley. Wonderful. I couldn't have put it better myself, mate. I couldn't have put it better myself, son, innit? So there's the details you need if you want to grab yourself a copy. It's a pictorial book, and this is Hampshire. A beautiful place. It's very, very special. There's so much going on down there. That's the Nelson's Victory. The HMS Victory was a warship that was effectively made famous by Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson, who was when was it? The old brain's gone dead. I can't remember, but they were fighting with the French and the Spanish fleets in the Battle of Trafalgar. The date evades me, unfortunately, but it was a long time ago. So there you go. But you know, that's the back end of it. These were the officers' quarters. And that is Lord Nelson. I mean, obviously he wasn't wooden-headed. Like he was real, you know. I mean, he wasn't. He had a wooden head and a real neck, you know. No, but no, that's the figurine of the boat. Obviously, celebrating the victory. Still can't remember the battle. Never mind. Not going to come back to me. Unfortunately, as the man said as he sort of piddled into the wind. But yeah. So this is it's a lovely book. I can highly recommend it, mate. Innit? But Portsmouth Cathedral. Portsmouth was very, very heavily hit by World War II. Unfortunately, a lot of it was destroyed, and so there's not much sort of left of the original places. You know, there's just sort of little kind of tiny enclaves, as it were. So this is where Charles Dickens was born. Charles Dickens was a British author who was quite famous for the pen. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword, and there you go. Spice Island pub, one of these strange kind of buildings that's remaining, that's left. And well, there are loads of forts. Southsea Castle being one of them, down in Hampshire, because of the English were sort of paranoid the French were going to invade, and so they started building all these forts around the Napoleonic era, you know. And well, they've always been paranoid, the English. They've been building castles for years. Jack Straw's castle, you can stick it up your yeah. But no, there's some beautiful places in Hampshire to go. That's a fact. This Calshot Spa, or Spit I should say, used to be a lighthouse that would warn ships not to go to the Calshot Spit, which was like a sandbank, and obviously they'd run aground and it would be a bloody nuisance, as Mr. Bean would say. As what's his name? I can't remember who played Mr. Bean now. He's going completely dumb. But whatever his name was, the chap that played Mr. Bean, I can't remember. But beautiful buildings, timber framed, and that's the in Winchester. That's what's called the Bar Gate. Winchester used to be the capital of England years ago, before London. When Alfred the Great was on the throne, Winchester was the capital, and no, I'm talking rubbish. Sorry, this is Bar Gate in Southampton, but Winchester had its own gates as well, and they used to protect the city, you know, walled city sort of thing. So that's lovely. Wherewell, a thatched cottage in Wherewell. The trouble is with these thatched roofs is they can actually get on fire, and fire brigade can't put them out, because I mean, what does a thatched roof do? It repels water, doesn't it? And so if it's on fire, it's like we're trying to stop you from putting it out, type of thing. Not a great proposition if you've got a chimney with an open fire. Hello, open fire. If you've got a chimney with an open fire, Jimmy likes it though. It's all good, and it's all good, baby. But if you've got a chimney, you can get sparks come out, and they can grapple down, and the next thing you know, the bloody roof's on alight, you know. So I never fancied a thatch roof house myself for that very reason. But there are some beautiful ones around. This is in a place called East Meon. And there's Kingsclere Church, well, one of them. Very pretty churches in Hampshire, beautiful, beautiful places. And you've got this mixed bag of red brick buildings, obviously from a later date. That's actually Jane Austen's house in a place called Chawton. Jane Austen was an author. She wrote many, many wonderful books. I recommend you Google her and look her up, because she's, well, a lot of her work ended up in film, you know, being translated into films and things and what have you. But you've got some quite interesting, these weatherboarded houses. That's in Southwick, and there's another one in Long Parish. The thatch roof, I used to be a roofer, but I was never a thatcher. Obviously that's a specialist type of thing. And the ridge, though I do know, is pegged up to keep it extra sort of cosy. It's extra protected. They used to put these ornate patterns in. In fact, they still do. I mean, the thatching is still going on. It's a very, very clever trade if you're into that sort of thing. But lovely, lovely photos. I like it a lot, mate, innit? And you get these lovely colours in this is in Hursley in Hampshire, and you get these lovely colours of these timber framed buildings, quite exceptional. Very, excuse me, I'll drink of water. Or is it? It might be vodka. Whoa, could be. I'm joking, but no, you get these lovely areas. And Hampshire is a beautiful county in England. It's down the south. Hampshire is sort of southerly county in the UK. So this is Ringwood. Ringwood is a very, very pretty town. This is Andover. This will be Andover. Romsey and Andover are two sort of market towns where Lord Palmerston kind of set them up, I believe. In the old days, lords and ladies and gents kind of set these things up, and I presume that's probably Palmerston stood there, no doubt getting crapped on by pigeons nowadays. But yeah, there you go. That's what happens to you, isn't it? If you get too arrogant, that's what happens to you. Petersfield, very, very pretty place. And that's Bishop's Waltham. That's a part of Bishop's Waltham. That's not just, you know, there's only 3 shops in Bishop's Waltham, isn't there, mate? No, that is just a street scene, I should say. That's a swan. The swan swam down the sea, swim, swan, swim. The swan swam back again. Well, swum, swam. You know? That's at Fording Bridge in Hampshire. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good, baby. This is great. I like this. This is the Watercress line, which used to be an old connection from Winchester up to Alton, And yeah, if you can bear with me, because my videos are nuts, aren't they? I know that, but if you can bear with me, you can see that that's the watercress line. Kind of, I suppose, I don't know what it is. It's what is it? It's a painting. It's a watercolor, isn't it? From the watercress line. Actually, my dad bought it for me years ago, very kindly, and yeah, awesome. And that shows you the path of the track. You know, that it shows you where the line used to go through, and it was called the watercress line because in Alresford, New Alresford, or New Alresford as they say in Hampshire, yeah, they say you've got an accent in Hampshire. New Alresford, that used to be the watercress that would supply London. Quite knows what they used to do with it. I don't know, apart from put it on salads and things. But no, that was it. Where's that? Alton. So the watercress line, back to the chase, lad, was a steam train run thing that ran, as I say, mostly to provide product. It was closed by Beeching in the 1960s. I think it was 1963. Lord Beeching, he got the blame for all of that axing of railways, but he wasn't really to blame. It was just that was his job, wasn't it? What chance did he have of anything other than doing his job? So the line is basically now been turned into a kind of tourist attraction. You know, they've volunteers run it, so it's very interesting. So it's really cool. New Alresford, beautiful place. I used to go there a lot, very much. I used to love New Alresford. In fact, I love it with all my heart, let's put it that way. And that's the Alresford Mill. They've got an accent down in Hampshire, as I said. Winchester Cathedral, a beautiful place and well worth a visit. Anyone that goes to Winchester, please do go to the cathedral. Even if you're not into religion, it's spectacular. There's the bones of all the old kings in there somewhere. King Canute and all those old blokes from way back when and ha. Very, very interesting place to go. And there is the king that I was talking about, Alfred. The when England was when Winchester was the capital of England. Alfred the Great. Yeah. King Alfred's statue stands in front of Winchester as you drive in. You can't miss it. You know, if you do, it might fall on you, and you might end up with a sword up your bum tar. But that's the Victorian. I'm joking. That's the Victorian Winchester Town Hall, and there's the the King's Gate, because I told you there was gates in Winchester. These old gates used to protect the city. Obviously, if there were marauding kind of people around, they just slam the door shut, and you couldn't get in it. Can't get in, not having it. But yeah, very, very lovely place, beautiful. There's another very atmospheric photograph of Winchester Cathedral, beautiful. This is St Cross. St Cross is interesting because in actual fact you can still bang on the door and order the Wayfarer's Dole. The Wayfarer's Dole is a free kind of, well, nowadays it's probably a thimble full of ale and a piece of bread, probably a crumb. But in the old days, if somebody was travelling, somebody was on foot, a wayfarer in other words, they could go and get sustenance from St Cross Hospice or hospital. So that's all cool. That's the River Itchen. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Look at that. I believe that Watership Down, the famous bright eyes burning like fire, all that sort of stuff, that's in Hampshire, mate. And this is Watership Down, and where the rabbits were, you know, that famous cartoon. This video is rolling on now. I know those sheep, Miss Moneypenny. But yeah, so I'll wrap it up. Otherwise, everyone, well, no one's probably watching this far on anyway. But the coast is lovely. There's all sorts of places. Look, there's all sorts of gear in it. That's Langston, Hailing Island. There's Jimmy. It's all good. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Bless you, sweetie. You're the only one watching, innit? But thanks ever so much if anybody else is still there. All the very best wishes. Cheers. I hope I can turn this phone off. It's a funny old thing, this phone, isn't it, Jim? No, it's not having it. No, it's deciding against it. It's bunt. In Polish, that means mutiny. It's a mutiny. I'll have to crash out of it. I'll have to just crash out of it, innit?